Welcome, welcome everybody who's here and who's out there. And we're so excited to have International Education Week with a panel of the people that we're so excited to be doing this work and that we appreciate all that you're doing. So I'm just going to share a little bit about COIL, SUNY COIL, and then we will start the event. And here we are. Can everybody see the slides? Okay, great. So as people are entering today, please introduce yourself, your institution, maybe where you're located in the world right now in the chat. We would really love to know who's here, and we're so glad that you are. And we are so excited to have our students here with us today. So this will be all about their experience, their reflections, and how they've been using COIL since they did the project that they were in. In January, we'll come back together in our webinar space on the 21st after everybody hopefully will take a little break. And we're going to look at different kinds of content and models and approaches to doing COIL. You can check us out on YouTube. We're going to be adding a bunch more videos in the next coming weeks of our webinars this past fall. We have workshops coming up in January and February, March, and June. So please join us. They're a lot of fun, and we have people from all over the world learning how to do COIL together. So that's very fun. So for anybody here who doesn't know what COIL is, it's an opportunity for students and professors from one university to work on a project or a module within a course and to connect and to work with students and professors from another university somewhere else in the world. You decide to use the same language or you use a third language, and you work on a project together and hopefully involving a United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. The collaboration does not take over your whole course. It happens during the semester or during the time you've chosen to meet with your partner. And also, it can happen in a very flexible format. Maybe before classes start and before they start or during the first semester of school. It can be connected to the research of a professor, connected to a local organization, or connected to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And as you join us, please introduce yourself in the chat. We work with a lot of institutions all over the world, and we are so excited for our student panel today from all over the place. So thank you for joining us today from where you are. Our SUNY COIL community also has partnering fairs. Our next one is December 2nd. We have idea hubs this Friday. We're really excited to have June Prieto from San Pedro College. She's going to be with her career counselor talking about how they prepare students by doing mock interviews and preparing the employers that come to the job fair to meet students who have done COIL. And so how the students can leverage that experience. As you know, we're in our community webinar right now, and we also meet with coordinators every month to provide support, guidance, talk about your challenges and your successes. So with that, we are so excited to present to you our student panel moderated by Brianne Wolf Hake. And so here are our students from many campuses around the world. And here they are from South Africa, from Turkey, from Oman, from Brazil, and from Venezuela. So over to all of you.
Thank you, Hope. I'm not going to speak much because I want to keep the spotlight on these phenomenal students. But really quickly, I'm Brianne. I am a new SUNY COIL Fellow and working with Hope to engage more partners and students and people around the world in this exciting space. But what I want to do first is let the students introduce themselves. So they are going to share their name, their university name, and their country really quickly, just so you know who is speaking from where. Daniela, can you go first?
Hello, my name is Daniela Vakarian. I am from Venezuela and I study in Andrés Bello Catholic University.
Perfect. Gabriela.
Hello, my name is Gabriela. I'm from Brazil and I study at Unesp in Assis.
Wonderful. Christian?
Hi, my name is Christian Cortez. I'm from Venezuela and I studied at the Catholic University, Andrés Bello Catholic University, or UCAP.
Wonderful. Bayan?
Hi, my name is Brianne Hake. I study in Sultan Qaboos University in Oman.
Wonderful. Karina?
Hi, my name is Karina Singh. I study at DUT, which is in South Africa.
Rayan?
Hi, my name is Rian Al-Lawati, and I'm from the Sultanate of Oman, and I study at Sultan Qaboos University.
Thank you. Leticia?
Hi, my name is Leticia. I'm a master student at Unesp, and I'm from Brazil.
Wonderful. I think that is everyone. Someone raise your hand at any of the students if we didn't have you introduce. I think we got everyone. Okay, now really quickly, we're going to hear from the students about just briefly. Oh, Alonso?
Yeah, hi. My name is Alonso. I'm from la Universidad LaSalle, Mexico.
Hi. Okay. We have a new person who's going to join us. Wonderful. Okay. So really quickly, we're going to have each of our students share just one or two sentences about what type of COIL course they took, or sort of one of them that they will be speaking to today. So why don't we go in the same order? So Daniela first.
Well, my COIL project consisted of producing a documentary with TCA, a Jesuit university for indigenous community located in Oaxaca, Mexico.
Gabriela?
So my COIL course is about language and literature. We interact with people from different countries.
Christian?
Daniela and I made the same project, so we are teammates.
Sure, I remember. So maybe Bayan and Ryan, maybe one of you can speak to the COIL course you were in together, or maybe you were in different ones.
We were in the same one. So it was basically between Oman and the USA, and it was like a part of our public speaking class, and it was basically around how like different people, like how we convince each other. So it's like how the US convinces their people and how Oman uses convincing in our culture.
Perfect. Karina or Leticia? I'm not sure, Leticia, if you were with in the same course. Okay.
Yes, I'm in the same course as Gabriela.
Perfect. Karina then?
So for mine was for a physiology module, which is part of health science, and we collaborated with Amsterdam and Brazil.
Wonderful. And Alonso?
Yeah, we work with exporting a Mexican social impact business model to Colombia.
Okay, well now we have this amazing array of courses that these students have been part of. Now we're going to dig into some of their experiences and what they are taking from these courses, especially things that they're taking uniquely from COIL courses that maybe they would not ever been able to have taken from other opportunities, other learning opportunities. So our first question for the group, we are going to, because we have so many students, and which is wonderful, what an excellent problem to have. I'm going to ask that only one per university for right now answers each question, and then I can go to the next student for the next question, okay? So we're starting out with, what is one thing you learned during your COIL experience that you continue to use in your academic or professional life now? If anyone wants to volunteer, I'm happy to call on you first. Otherwise, I will be the teacher and call on you in order. Anyone? Okay, Karina, please.
So something that I continue to use would be the leadership skills, being communicative, being patient, learning how to time manage yourself, learning how to speak to different people in different ways and using different platforms to engage with people so that we're all included.
Alonso, go ahead.
Yeah, probably the same. I would like to keep practice this interaction with people, even when they are from another country. That helped me because I can move projects to other places, not just keep it in my country. And I think the business that I work here, it could be a great idea in other places. So I would like to keep talk with other people to move this project.
Well, during my college experience, I learned to be persistent and to reinvent myself. We encounter several problems in our work. For example, at the beginning, we're also working with an indigenous Venezuela woman named Erica, but she has several leadership positions in her communities, so it was impossible for her to contribute with the project. Also, we worked with three indigenous Mexican girls who had limited internet access. This made it a little difficult to continue talking to them. We didn't give up in the face of this problem and learned to adapt to the circumstances.
One of our students from Sultan Qaboos want to share?
Hello. One of the most
please,
important.
Go ahead.
Okay. One of the most important things I took away from COIL and something I still use in my academic life is effective communication, especially writing emails in a clear, polite, and professional way. Before COIL, I really didn't know how to write a proper email, but throughout the project, I learned how to express myself respectfully and professionally. When communication with people from different cultures, this skills has helped me in almost every class since then.
Amazing. Which other student would like to go next?
Howard. I think the most valuable thing I've learned from COIL is how to communicate effectively and confidently when the audience is diverse. It taught me how to be confident, use clear voice, and use examples that will be clear to a diverse audience.
Daniela or Leticia, or sorry, Gabriela or Leticia, maybe?
I can go. Well, during my experience with COIL, I learned to communicate in English more confidently, and I love to learn about different cultures and different accents. So this helped me both as an English language student and as a future teacher, since I will have to deal with different people, different cultures, and different ways of speaking in the classroom.
Excellent. Have we heard from everyone, for one person from each university for this question? I think so. Feel free to raise your hand, students, if I have missed you. Okay, we may go on to the next. What do you think is something that you learned during your COIL course that was not something you think would be able to be adopted from any other educational experience? So something unique to the COIL course that you are using today or that you feel like you may use in the future, that you think was specific to the experience you had during your COIL course?
Okay, so it's probably the way like I adjust the way I speak, because I have to address my ideas according to like specific audiences. So because in most classes we mostly interact with people from the same background as us, but like through COIL, I became more aware that people could perceive the same message in different ways, depending on like many factors, like cultural factors or like each person's communication style. So it's very important to specifically factor or shape that, like the presentation you're giving in a specific way so everyone can understand.
I think I saw Karina's hand up. Feel free.
So like something that would be different to a typical classroom would be like working with people with a different time zone and different languages. When you're used to speaking to somebody in the same language and now a different time zone, it does broaden your experience and help you probably in the working field, because we will not be being able to see these people every day that we work with. For example, I'm in health science, so we would have to refer a patient maybe to another person that we haven't met before. So it was something nice to get the experience of.
Okay, maybe one of our UNESP students.
Yes, I can go. I think the something that I learned during my COIL experience is this change of cultures and to talk about your country without stereotypes, right? So you can learn from someone native, and this is really good for us, right?
Absolutely. Maybe Christian from UCA.
Yes, and I will say that COIL helped us a lot to understand different realities, and we are not the only ones in this world. And most importantly, everything is possible as much as there is a lot of distance between us, like in Venezuela and Mexico. And we managed to get a documentary forward with some calls and video granted by the girls we were with, and I think that's the best part. I learned too much for the girls for my team.
This is wonderful to hear. Alonso, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I think the communication process, because we had to find a way to understand each other. Even we both speak Spanish, but we have different ways to say different words. So that was a little problem because sometimes we didn't get it what they want to say. Another thing that we needs to move was the time also, because we need to talk like calmly without our activities overlapping, you know.
Absolutely. And yes, I can understand the idea that even in the same language, there can be differences across countries and cultures. Susan, please.
The most unique aspect of the COIL project for me was the opportunity to collaborate with students from different cultures and countries in a real time. Instead of just learning about cultures from book, I actually interact with people from Mexico, Poland, and China and discussed real topics like artificial intelligence, educational systems, and etc. The kind of direct cross-cultural communication is something you can't experience in a typical classroom, and that made the project truly unique for me.
Such excellent answers. Well, I feel like everyone is being so polite and concise with their responses. Probably we can hear from everyone for this last kind of formal question as part of the program, and then we're going to open it up to the audience to see what curiosity they have about your experiences. So, and the students have heard this question and they are prepared for it. But for the audience, what do you think? So we're going to be asking them, what do you think is the most professionally important skill or concept that you gained since being in a COIL course that you think either you are using right now in a job or in some sort of professional capacity, or that you think you might use in the future if you are not working yet, or if you haven't had a chance to apply it in a professional setting. This also could be something that you think of that you might be mentioning in an interview for an internship or for a professional position. So feel free, students, whoever wants to jump in, either raise your hand or go ahead and unmute. We're going to hear from everyone.
I would go. So if I were an interview, I would definitely mention that COIL has taught me intercultural communication. So since we communicate with different people from diverse countries, I think it really helped me to collaborate with people who think, communicate differently, and have different cultural perspectives.
Absolutely. Cannot be overstated how important that is. Who would like to answer that one next?
Well, the most important professional concept I learned was the practical skill of working with people from anywhere in the world. In the COIL course, I had to negotiate, communicate, and collaborate with classmates from cultures very different from my own in order to complete the project. This taught me how to effectively manage culture diversity, which is vital for a company today. Also, these experience reinforced my teamwork and leadership skills.
Absolutely, Daniela. Thank you. And that diversity of teams is going to be true no matter where you are in the world. Even if you're not working in a different country than your own, you're probably going to have different cultures, different backgrounds, many different life experiences across your team, wherever in the world you work. Who would like to go next? I will call on you.
Marina is raising her hand.
Oh, thank you.
So one important skill that I've learned would probably be leadership with politeness and courtesy. So in my group, I was the group leader, and not many people were speaking, and I had to make sure everybody was comfortable to speak. They didn't feel shy or worried that they would be judged. So that was important, and I would think being courageous also. It is kind of scary speaking to other people. You might be scared that they're going to judge you how you speak, but you have to obviously take your stand and make sure everybody feels included as well.
I love that. What an important perspective to have. I love the idea of having courage, because that translates to so many things in your professional life and your personal life. Who wants to be next?
We do. It's Gloria and Liz.
Oh, hi, Gloria. Do you mind really quickly if we let the students finish their answers and then we can jump in with questions from the audience?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Suzanne, go ahead.
Okay. This experience can be useful for the job because COIL teaches skills that are directly needed in workplace. For example, it improves communication in English with international colleagues or clients. It also helps you understand different cultures, which means you can work more effectively in global teams and avoid misunderstanding. In addition, learning to collaborate online, prepare presentation, and solve problems with people from different backgrounds is something that employers really value today. So everything I learn in COIL is something I can use in professional environments as also.
Absolutely. I can tell you truthfully that those are skills that employers want. I use them all the time in my work, and I feel like most of us do. So great sense of those professionally relevant aspects. Alonso, go ahead.
Yeah, in the professional way, like this helps me a lot because I know that now I have the ability to connect with people who have a very broad points of view and different behavior that enrich the work wherever I've been. So that could help me to make projects maybe different that I know here in Mexico.
Absolutely. Such great points from all of you. I want to make sure we hear from every student this time. So even if one of your classmates from your university has spoken, we have time to hear from each of you. So I think Gabriela, Christian, I'm not sure who else has not answered this last question, but please raise your hand or unmute. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have an answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think like a valuable skill I gained was the cross-cultural communication. And I think this skill is essential for like the job market in the future, especially when I'm like working with a team and going through professional discussions. So it will probably help me like adapt in more diverse situations and know how to speak with every single person, so they all can understand what I'm saying. So yeah.
Absolutely. Who else from our panel of students would like to share?
Me. I think that what I learned is to interact and get closer to other cultures that are totally different from my own culture and lifestyle. Oh, we had to negotiate the ideas and confront our own. Because I think we speak same language, but say many words, many expressions are so different. So that was a complication, but this experience learned us to learn about from Mexico, even though we didn't travel there, and told us with us to be interculturally empathetic, I think.
I love that term, interculturally empathetic. That's wonderful, Christian. Who would like to go next? I know we haven't heard from everyone on the panel yet. Gabriela?
Leticia wants to speak first.
Leticia, please go ahead.
You can go, Gabi. That's okay.
Okay. So since I trained and studied to be a teacher, the intercultural communication that I developed through COIL has been one of the most skilled that I gained. Not only learn how to communicate, but also how to listen, understand, and respect the people from different places, and work as a team with people who are different from me, different from my country, different from my culture, and has different opinions. So this is important for everyone, not only on professional life, but in personal life.
Leticia, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm also an English teacher, and I think the COIL gave me more confidence to speak in English and to have the ability to work collaboratively in multicultural and virtual environments. So I learned how to adapt, to coordinate tasks across different time zones, and how to build trust and report even when communication happens entirely online. So this intercultural competence and digital collaboration skills, and in a respectful way of interaction with diversity. So these are qualities I believe would allow me to contribute positively to any team that I would work with.
100%. I love that respectful appreciation of diversity. There's so many great points. I wish I could repeat every single thing you all are saying. We've got some questions in the chat, but really quick before we jump to those, did we hear from everyone on the panel for this last question? Suzanne, I'm not sure if we did hear from you yet. Suzanne?
I speak with this question. I answer this question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies. Trying to keep track of everyone. Did we hear from all of the panelists already for this last one? Okay, wonderful. I want to make sure everyone has their opportunity. Now let's jump into the questions here. It looks like we have many. So first, Annette Ritchie asks, did you find different attitudes or ideas toward group or team work during your COIL class? And if yes, what did you observe? Anyone can jump in on this. Feel free to just either raise your hand or unmute. Why don't I go with Alonso? Do you find any differences towards group or teamwork between your university in Mexico and your COIL partners?
Yeah, with Colombia, well, there's not so many difference because we find that we have like some common attitudes, but also, well, a difference maybe could be that I don't know. Well, our teammate was a little. Well, he was a very professional person. He always tried to find a moment to work with us, especially when we didn't have a lot of time for the university. But something that I really appreciate by him was that he always tried to be communicate with us, like what happened, like what you need at this moment. I can share you this information that I found from Colombia. So that really made the process very very easy. So maybe I think that his attitude was very 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 nice.
Maybe we can hear from one of our panelists who is not located in the Americas, not in the American continent. So maybe our panelists from Turkey or Oman or South Africa. Anyone?
For us, our project was not like group related. It was like individually, like we individually recorded videos and sent them to the other side. So we didn't really have any teamwork in it.
Okay, that makes sense. But it would be interesting. Do you have any thoughts about how it might have differed if you did collaborate more directly?
Honestly, yeah, because the time zones like are a major difference. So they'd be asleep, we'd be awake. So communicating would be kind of difficult. And also maybe probably the cultural differences. We might not understand some things the same way, so it could cause some issues.
True. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we have so many questions. We may jump on to another question here. Let's check. Okay, Gabriela Mendez has asked, on a more personal note, is there something you discovered about yourself during your COIL experience that you had not noticed before? Great question. Anyone want to jump in on that? Any personal discoveries about your...
Okay, so for me, my group wasn't speaking much at all. It was only people from my country speaking, like on the group chat, for example. So, as a group leader, I tried to be determined and make sure everybody started speaking. I tried to make video calls, polls to make things easier for other students. So maybe if it was hard for them to text, they could just vote on which idea they wanted to do. So I think it helped me in my problem-solving aspect to overcome the obstacle that we had.
I love that. And you didn't know maybe you had that capacity to jump in and start to have that problem-solving ability. Good for you, Karina. Anyone else on this question, or we'll go to one of the many others in the chat? Yes, Daniela. And then Christian next.
Well, I always know that I love history and learning about other cultures around the world, but thanks to this experience, I realized how much I love learning about the other tradition and the history of the other countries.
Wonderful. Christian and then Suzanne.
Like Daniela, I feel if finally discovered that I love learning about new cultures and being more curious, I think.
I love that. And how wonderful that we can learn what we love before we even know that we are interested or want to learn about it. That's so encouraging. Suzanne, please.
Okay. Throughout the COIL experience, I realized I'm more confident and adaptable than I thought. I was the leader in my group, so I had to really try to be open-minded and listen to everyone's ideas. And I also learned that I communicate in English with people from different cultures, and I actually enjoy working in international teams. Overall, it's helped me grow a lot, both personally and professionally.
I love hearing these answers. I could listen to this all day. Does anyone else on the panel still want to jump into that question, or we'll go to the next? Okay, let's see. We have so many. Let's see.
There was one about challenges too.
Yes. Betsy had one about challenges. She says most COIL projects or teams face a challenge at some point. What's a challenge do you face in the COIL project, and how did you address or resolve it? And what did you learn from that process?
I would go. So, as Ryan mentioned, we worked individually, not as a team. But I wouldn't call it a challenge. It's just more of a simple obstacle. Is me trying as hard as possible to just use phrases and words that I know the other side will understand, since we have like a really different culture.
Like what? What were some typical phrases you used?
Nothing comes to mind right now, but maybe like sometimes we use like words. I'm not sure how to say it right now.
You can put it in the chat.
Think of it in a little while, Ben. Please feel free to put it in the chat or share with us later. Okay,
I'll do that.
Anyone else? Challenges, ways you address them. Daniela.
Well, in we projects we had some problem. The fear was that at the beginning we also have an endangered Venezuela woman named Erica, who have studied in the same university as us. We want them to compare the experience with the 3 young women indigenous in Mexico with the experience with this young Venezuelan woman. However, Erica belongs to indigenous community and holds several leadership positions in these communities. So it was impossible for her to participate in the project. After Erica left the project, we have to meet and reescriture the project. We reviewed several interviews and realized that Giselle, Mariana, and Diana, who was the girls, the Mexican girls, several times the progress love of their culture and how their university included indigenous cultural expression in its curriculum.
Great points. Yeah, people are people, where sometimes not everyone is only a student. During the course of these experiences, they may have other responsibilities like leadership, as you said, or care, or other sorts of things. Thank you for sharing, Daniela. Anyone else about challenges you faced when you were doing your COIL project, whether it was with your classmates or maybe yourself? Alonso.
Yeah, I think the main challenge that we have in the project was that we didn't be in Colombia, so we can like have this perspective of what we want to do there. Like we have a Federico who was our teammate of Colombia, but our biggest challenge was okay in Mexico. Our business work like this, and with these people, we work with indigenous women. But in Colombia, we changed the model with mothers, like how women affected by the guerrillas and the community LGBT. So we try to adapt this model with Colombia and these people to 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 have the same strategic like that we have here in Mexico, but don't be in Colombia was very difficult because we didn't get the logistic, because we didn't know where to produce the materials, the products, all the product that our business sells in here in Mexico. We didn't know how to sell there, so it was very, very difficult, but we get it.
A good reminder that as you think about opening businesses or expanding your business in other countries, if you don't have that knowledge, you're not going to be very successful. So great point, Alonso. Susan, please.
Okay, one challenge in the COIL project was finding meeting times because of different time zones, and also dealing with some cultural differences in how people work in teams. We solved it by planning carefully, talking clearly with each other, and being flexible and open to everyone's ideas.
Absolutely. But you know what? It seems so simple, but finding times across time zones is a challenge that a lot of people on these international teams face all the time. I certainly do. So you're getting great practice on that. Absolutely talk about that in an interview. Let's see, maybe there's another question. Okay, another from Annette here. A few of you mentioned being a team leader. Do you think that groups or teams need a leader in COIL, in general, in real life, to get something done? Great question. I'd love to hear. Who wants to jump into this one?
Oh, Karina does.
Karina, please.
So yes, I feel you definitely need a team leader, especially for deadlines. Somebody can remind you, like we have this part due at this time, because everybody has a busy life. But if somebody is like indicated or has the job to lead the team, I think everything comes out well, because there's somebody there to support you or bring the team together. Yeah.
Do you need a leader? Alonso.
Yeah, I also was the leader of my team. Yeah, I think everywhere we need a leader because we have so many activities And when you have a leader, you have someone that can like guide you, because you know that that person is focused on something. Like in the university, we have many projects. So this time, this project was uh, my jam. So I was focused on this, and I was telling my teammates how to work and make it easier to get a good job. Because I think if you don't have a leader, maybe you have many opinions and don't really have a way to construct all the project.
Absolutely. We have so many questions in the chat. This is marvelous. And thank you to the panelists for being brave enough to answer these on the fly without having prior preparation with them. Anyone else on the leadership topic, or we'll jump to another question? Daniela.
I feel that if you need to have a leader, you always need someone to motivate the team to keep going and to help them. The important thing is what kind of leader you are. You always have to try to be a motivational leader.
Yes, I agree. And in work, in life, in so many ways. We have another great question from Betsy that I want to hear very specifically from the student perspective. I don't know if many students get to have this opinion for their faculty members, for their professors. What advice would you as students give to a faculty member or professor who's wanting to offer a COIL project in their course? What do they need to know about design? What advice would you give a student who discovers there's a COIL project in their course? And what do they need to know to have the best experience? So I guess part one is, what should the professor or faculty member know? Part two is, what should a student know if they sign up for a course and then all of a sudden they discover there's the COIL component? So you can answer one or both questions. I would really like to hear what your perspective is for faculty. Anyone want to, and feel free to be open and be frank with us, direct about what you think what they could do and what they should know, because I think this could help a lot of people to understand this. Karina.
So something that I feel that the faculty should know is that for us, the COIL project was weighted as a mark for our curriculum. So like a test basically. And for others, it was just like maybe a project or not as important as it was for us. So they didn't take it as seriously as we did. So maybe in those terms, if other universities are collaborating, maybe make it as important as it is to them for us, so that there is seriousness on both sides.
A really good point. Make sure having alignment between classes and between faculty and students about how important this is, and how well they are prioritizing it will make it better experience for everyone. Absolutely. Anyone else? Suzanne.
For a faculty member, I would say planning is really important. They need to make sure that project has a clear goals, a realistic timeline, and enough guidance for students to communicate across time zones and cultures. It's also important to choose topics that are interesting and engaging for everyone. For students, my advice would be to be open-minded and proactive. Take the opportunity to learn from people in different countries. Listen carefully, share your ideas, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Definitely. Don't be afraid to ask questions. All of the things you shared are so key. Other students who have advice to faculty or students? Because we have probably time for one last question that Hope has put in the chat 2 times, so I suspect she really wants to know the answer to.
No. I just was throwing some stuff in there.
No, all good,
These
all
are
good.
good.
Anyone else want to jump into this question? Advice for faculty or advice for students who are going to be doing a COIL course? Alonso.
Yeah, probably my advice is enjoy it. Like COIL is an experience that can improve yourself because you are working with different countries and different culture. Just enjoy it, meet the people. There's so many types of people in this world, and so many of them can be a grateful persons, grateful people. Sorry, and also maybe an advice. Uh, just think about COIL as a professional project, not just institutional. I think that helps to me because I didn't saw that I didn't saw this project as a student or university project. I saw like a professional to maybe get more skills. Actually, maybe that's my advice.
Yeah, I mean, a great advice to think of it as a professional project because it is, really, it is. Gabriela or Christian or Bayan or anyone or Ryan like to jump in on this or have a couple other things people. Oh, Bayan, go ahead.
Yes, I would advise the student to take it seriously and to take the chance to learn about other cultures and other countries, and to also to take the time to discover some aspect of yourself that maybe you wouldn't understand or maybe you didn't discover before.
Excellent advice. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to put two more topics out there. You can jump in if you would like to share. One is, do you still keep in touch with any of your teammates from the partner classes for COIL? And how has that turned out? Or do you feel like you will stay in touch with them? You'd like to work with them? You do other projects together? Or Annette has another question. In what ways did your professors model good partnering, being a good partner to you? If you think that they did. You are welcome to answer one or both of those questions, and this will probably be our final round of answers from our panelists. So one, do you still keep in touch with any of your former classmates in COIL from the partner institution? And two, which ways did your professor show how to be a good partner, modeling being a good partner if they did?
Maybe this is something we all need to work on.
I can answer the first one.
Please, Gabriela.
Me and the other people from the other universities, we followed on Instagram, and we see the pictures, the stories. So we don't talk in Instagram on chat, but we can see their lives.
Absolutely. I love that. It's kind of a little bit of a less active way to stay in touch, but you still get to see how their life is, what their country is like, what is going on in their time beyond just your classroom experience. Kind of makes it a little bit more community minded. Suzanne, you had your hand up. Do you want to contribute?
I just say I'm still in touch with my COIL group, but in Turkey team. We became really close, and now we are working together in a new club at our university called the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Club. The COIL project only happens in the preparatory program at our university, so it was a really unique opportunity for us to connect and continue collaborating.
Absolutely. It's a great opportunity to bond with your classmates or meet classmates you maybe wouldn't have otherwise and find those shared interests and shared competencies too that you've gained together. Betsy says, I love that the project creates connection and belonging within an institution, even if it can also create connection in other countries. Totally. Anyone else before we wrap up? Anyone else's perspectives on staying in touch with your COIL partners or classmates, or how someone can be a good COIL partner? Hope also asked, anyone want to travel now as a result of COIL? Because I know my experiences doing that made me want to visit all those places. Would you suggest to your friends to do COIL?
Maybe a hand in the air for if anybody wants
Raise your
to
hand.
travel.
Okay. First, does your COIL experience make you want to travel to that country or elsewhere? Give me a hand, yes or no. Okay, very good. Would you suggest that your friends should do a COIL course? Hands up, yes? Okay, very good, very good. I'm glad to hear that. That's a good show of confidence. This is wonderful. I need this whole group, please, to give a big round of applause to these brave and excellent and capable panelists who have done such a fantastic job sharing their experiences, doing so in languages that may not be their first, second, or third. Really, really impressive, all of you. I hope you know this is also a professional experience. You can put it on your CV. You were a live participant in a SUNY COIL webinar with many people from many countries in English. I remember my first presentation not in English, and I was terrified. So you all have done much better than I did. Very, very good. Very, very good. I want to say gracias, and obrigado, teşekkür shukran, danke, all of the languages to our participants. You are outstanding. Anyone else in the audience want to share your thanks or appreciation?
I do, but what I would love is for if all of our audience could show themselves and say thank you in your mother language. So if we could all be visible, all of our wonderful professors and instructors and administrators, if you can show yourself and say thank you in your mother language. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Gracias.
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 Obrigado. Great. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. I just want to share something with all of you. It was so wonderful to have all of you here today and from so many places in the world. And just remember, you are the future and you have the power to change the world and to make it better with every interaction that you do. So thank you so much for what you've done today. And a big thank you to our moderator, to Brianne Wolf. It's great to have you here with us. And thank you all to our audience for being here today. And let's just give our students one more big giant round of applause and love and gratitude. This is not easy work. I have no idea if I would have been able to do this as a student myself, in another language. So bravo, bravo to all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a good evening to our friends in Oman and in Turkey. And we'll see you in another COIL or in another opportunity. Take care, everybody. And make sure to check out the chat because everybody is thanking you for all of your good thinking today. All right. Au revoir. If everybody can unmute and say goodbye in your mother tongue. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ciao, ciao.
Adios.
Adios. Bye-bye. Take care. Okay. Here
Fabulous
we
work,
go.
students.
Yay.